Hello, ladies and gents, and welcome back to another live stream. Thursday night, team sheets. We are live and keen to get things underway. I am sensing a little bit of havoc that is going to be touching us in some way, shape, or form. Hopefully, not inappropriately, but we'll have to wait and see. Of course, for those people tuning in, thank you for doing so. If you're new to the channel, give us a like, give us a sub, all that sort of stuff. But nonetheless, before we kick things off officially, let us have a look at the chat, see who's joined us among you kind folk, and read out some of the comments, questions, and a bit of a segue there, of course. If you have any comments and questions about your own team, need a bit of help, look no further, feel free to flick it in the chat below. I am streaming Facebook and YouTube as we did last week and the week prior to that. So if you are watching us on Facebook, you can actually comment in the comment section below the video and it will pop up as well. So feel free to do so. Otherwise, it looks as though a vast majority are actually tuning in via YouTube, which is just a normal thing to do, I think. But let us go through the chat. And we have first up, of course, as I do so, let's just crack a nice little juicy can of Pepsi Max, the old pig juice. And Adam, I am awfully surprised, mate, because when I actually made this template, this video, let me just fix my monitor. When I made this video, oops, the photo of the old missus fell over. She will not like me showing that photo. Anyway, you, kind sir, you sent a message within literally, I reckon it would have been about 3 seconds. I have no idea how you did it. So let me know your powers. Your spidey senses must have been tingling that I was going live. I have no idea how you did it. It was incredible. It was like you clicked. As soon as you clicked, you typed, entered. That'll take longer than 3 seconds. So I have no idea how you did it, Adam. But you are a wizard, a true wizard. And you have said, "How are you, legend? Any report on how the co-host is feeling?" He actually messaged me earlier on Facey on Messenger, and I will ask him how he's going. But I think he is faring well. I think he was just feeling a little bit under the weather. And hopefully nothing untoward as to regards to, COVID and anything like that. I think it was just a bit of a bug that he may have picked up. But no, thank you for checking in, Adam. I will do so on your behalf and see if we can get him to give us a bit of an update. He hasn't seen my message that I sent, so maybe he is resting up. But Cooper. Good old Scoops, the sole admin of AFL Trade Rumours and whatever the other part is of your title. But yeah, of course, people will know Scoops on Facebook and has his own YouTube channel as well. Does some incredible stuff. Quite a funny lad. So good of you to join us, Scoops. And of course, speaking of regulars, we have another one in Slim. He says, "Boys, Legends, Finals, Fever is a brewing." Exactly right. It is the last home and away round for SuperCoach. So the stakes have never been higher, and hopefully for your sake, you have qualified for finals already, unlike a couple of others that I know are tuning in to the chat at the moment. And yeah, it's good to see that my own team, at least in the SuperCoach Edge Cash League number 1, I've qualified for the top 4. And all I need to do is win, and I'll secure the Iron Throne. However, in the second Cash League, I have to win in order to make the 8. It's funny how things can be opposite sides of the spectrum across a couple of leagues, but very competitive across both, and it's been awesome fun to kick that off for the first time officially this season. Of course, we did have a Cash League last season, I think it was through our Patreon. But yes, we've obviously gone through the Discord route this time. So good to have a bit of competition. Everyone is good sports. And Adam, you've said, "Slim, I'm just on the way to the supermarket. I want a box of tissues for when I knock you out of the top 4. So I was being a bit cheeky just before. I was referring to those people that haven't made finals. And it is Adam, unfortunately, albeit he actually had the top score in our league last round. So tip of the old cap to you, kind sir. And as fate would have it, he's actually facing up against Slim in the last round of the home and away season this round. And Slim is the man that's been giving me so much shit across the journey because he's been gunning for my Iron Throne at the top of the tree And every week he's been barracking for the opponent that I'm facing. And I am hinging my hopes on Adam to come through, don his cape, his Superman suit, and spandex, everything else. I don't care how you look, mate. You are going to help me topple Slim, and he's going to eat humble pie. So, Slimmy, I've been keeping those receipts, mate, and I'm not really had to because the Discord logs it for me. But yeah, it's going to be quite a clash of the Titans here. So best of luck to both of you, but more so Adam. But very, very funny by you, Adam, there. And Slim has returned fire. Grab some bandages. You're going to need them after I stitch you up. Adam, I think I need to grab you a pillow because you're dreaming. Look at this. This is just classic banter. And this is what you get, by the way, in our Discord. So if you haven't joined us via our Discord, of course, the ever-growing community that we have on Discord, feel free to join us. It is free to do so, of course. Let me go ahead and grab that link, if it lets me. Will it? Yes, it will. And I'll pop it in the chat here so you'll be able to see it both on Facebook and here on YouTube in the chat. So feel free to join up. There's rooms for general discussion, which is banter, everything else. Trade discussion, captaincy, VC, game day banter, injury discussion, so on and so forth. And we have quite the community there that are absolutely fantastic, supportive, and help each other out as well, which is above all the most important part of it. So go ahead and join us on that. And Adam, you said I hit refresh. This is with regards to my question about how you are such a ninja, and posted within 3 seconds of me not even going live, just making this YouTube template and Facebook, of course. And you've said I hit refresh while watching the center bounce, and bam, the live. You sound like you're I'm obviously a card collector. Select one of the cards that I've got, and the same thing happens with those people that are trying to get cards. They spam the refresh in order to try and jump in and get ahead of the queue. But yeah, it's quite funny. That is I'm gonna tip the cap again, but that is Nuffy territory, and I absolutely love it. Do not change, Adam. That is incredible, and that is why you're the #1 ticket holder. Must be said. Jonas, tough competition demo. Center bounce has DR on too. Absolutely, I did see that, and I've got to get DR back on my channel as well. It does remind me because he is an absolute champion, and of course we caught up a few months ago now when we. Well, it was after, actually, the start of the season. It was the SuperCoach launch, and, of course, I gave him a lift home, and an incredible bloke to meet in person, and done a few, of course, records with him across the journey up until then. But, yeah, he is an absolute legend. It goes without saying. And next up we have CJ, another regular. Good to see you, mate. He asks, the first question of the evening, I still have shitty Sexton. I thought you were going to say I'm still having shitty sex. I was going to say, well, mate, I'm not quite the therapist in that area, but I can help you. I can offer some advice. But no, shitty Sexton. Can't afford anyone good in my forward line unless I do 2 trades to get more. I have 3 trades left. Do you think it's worth the punt? I'm already guaranteed in the top 8. In case of that, I would probably say hold for now, considering that it sounds as though you're playing for league more so than overall now. Keep those trades up your sleeve. That's 100% what I'm doing with my single trade that I've got left. And yeah, I mean, it depends as well though, because if Sexton's your, say, F6 and you need to play him on field, I would say in that case you could probably warrant using 2 of your last 3 trades to get more in, because then it leaves you with the 1 trade for the remaining 4 weeks. So in that case, yes. But if Sexton's just sort of the depth option on the bench, and it'd be more of a luxury, I wouldn't do it, mate. But I totally feel you, because the forward line is an absolute shambles, as we know, of course. But I'm glad that Lukey Jackson has apparently remained fit after ending the game on the weekend with ice on his bench. And my immediate thought was, holy shit, if I have to use my last trade on him, who am I going to bring in? Apart from Moore. And I don't know if I could actually afford him, but yeah, I went through the list and there's nothing. It's slim pickings. Like, if Phillipou was fit, yes, he'd probably be the only one. Draper at a pinch, but I wouldn't trust him. Yeah, there's not much on the go, mate. Keys is maybe another. I don't know what Keys' price point is, but yeah, I'm not a fan of Keys because his scoring hasn't come off the back of a change in role specifically. It's come off just form and playing that small forward role. No, I'd prefer to go for Charlie Curnow at a cheaper price point if that's the case. However, I think it was the last quarter, the Crows Dons game where Keys got a few CBAs. So I am hearing whispers that Laird actually might be rested by the Crows. Not that it can really afford to, I don't think, because Dawson's going to be out through concussion. So, but if that does happen, it would say, that I reckon to me, that Keys is going to get some CBAs. But even without Dawson, maybe if Crouch doesn't return, which if you haven't heard Matt Crouch, he's made a miraculous recovery. I don't know how. He's drank the elixir of youth to get over his injury. But yeah, we'll just have to wait and see as to what the team sheets are and kind of assess from there. But yeah, slim pickings overall in the forward line. CJ for sure. Jonas, Cash League 1 is rigged. 600 points clear of Damon, stuck in 5th spot. Mate, why are you blaming me? Why are you blaming me and you're in 5th? If you're in 2nd, I would say yes, you can blame me. Because I'm half a game ahead of 2nd in 1st spot. So I'm there on not just... I think I'm warranted to have my own spot there because of the half a point, the draw that I've got there. Those extra 2 points have allowed me to take the Iron Throne. But that's such is the swings and roundabouts of head-to-head leagues, Jonas, because there is another cash league that I'm in where I'm the 4th highest scorer and I'm currently in 10th and I need to win this week in order to make finals. Incredible. Coops, still got 3 trades left, wanting to upgrade a Dowling, Humphreys, Manor, upgrade other. Waiting for the next price jump. Well, you're in a good spot, mate. 3 trades with 5 weeks to go is definitely a good spot to be in. So, be interested to hear what you're doing, mate. Adam, number 1 ticket holder for a reason, 100%. What can I say? You support hard, and we appreciate you just as hard. Don't know if that works, but that can be misconstrued, Adam. But yes, we don't take for granted your support, kind sir. You are an absolute gun. You've said Cash League 1 equals fixture gate. Incredible as well because, as you would have seen for those people in the League 1, actually I might bring up my team actually whilst we're here. We can go through that specific league and the fixturing and the permutations around. It's incredible because I reckon there's 3 games where it's like a team are facing off each other and the winner only progresses through to the finals. There's another one, I think it's Adam playing up against Slim is another one where Slim has to win in order to make top 4. And I think it's the game that I'm in, where we're fighting for like top spot. But yeah, it's incredible stuff. Like as I said in the Discord, it's better fixturing, even though it's randomized, obviously, but it's better fixturing than the bloody anything the AFL can do. That's for sure. Let me just bring up my team on the other tab. Where are we? Is this me? Are we here? Yes, it worked. It kept me logged in. Incredible. Share screen. And there we go. There's my team. There it is. So, let us have a squeeze at the leagues. Alrighty. So this is the ladder at the moment. This is the Cash League 1. I'm half a game ahead on top. Hot Pies in 2nd, half a game behind me. I Can Hardly Read in 3rd on points behind Hot Pies. Slims, so the top 3 is set, and Slim, Jonas Goat, Export, and Unique Individuals are all vying for the last spot in the top 4, which is incredible. And as you can see there, Slim is in 4th spot. Adam is in 15th. But Adam, as I said, he scored the highest score overall on the weekend. So he is no minnow, that is for sure. Scoops, you've said got Kruger too, as do I, mate. Hopefully we don't have to use him this week if Gorney does return. Adam, you've said Jono needs a draw to get in. Yes, John O'Carroll, of course. He is placed down here in 10th spot. So there's 3 teams, Toddy FC, Timmy's Blues, and Rowan, which is Jono, all on 40 points. Obviously ordered in terms of highest points overall. Rowan, aka Jono, is like 800 points behind Timmy and almost 900 points behind Toddy FC. So there's no way that he can get ahead of them on points. And the funny thing is, Toddy and Timmy's Blues are playing off against each other this last round of the home and away season. So he's going to be hoping for a draw, because if that happens, they'll go to 42, or whoever the winner is. They'll both go to 42 points. And if Jono wins, he'll go to 44 and leapfrog them into 8th spot. So this is a scintillating finish. Like we know the finish to the AFL season is looking pretty good. It's ramping up, but this is next level. It's good to see. Jonas, and yes, you said I need Slim to get beaten as well. So yeah, otherwise Slim will stay ahead of you, Jonas. Scoops, I'm having to use Mana and Dowling as F6. Not too bad. With Sexton F5. Oh, okay. 60k extra wanting to upgrade, but those main names mentioned still going up. I would pull the trigger, Scoops, depending on if you're going for head-to-head, like leagues, matchups and stuff. I would pull the trigger probably early, especially considering that you're relying upon Sexton, who played up forward on the weekend as well, mind you. I wouldn't mind Mana and Dowling, especially if you're able to sort of loop one of those 2 guys on field and screen their score. But Sexton F5, that's a definite upgrade, mate. I would look to upgrade him, even though, as you said, those other guys have a bit more money to make. Even if you can trade Kruger, but I mean the DPP with Kruger might be pretty handy. Adam, you've said to Jonas, "I've got you, mate. I've got you. I've got you." What I will say, and make some predictions, ladies and gents, in the comment section below. One player that you think will either get dropped or that will make a return this round. So we saw Gorn. He's obviously been spoken about as a potential return. There's vision of him at training being put through his paces. Didn't look the most comfortable, but I will say I will take it as a Gorn owner that needs him to play. Otherwise, I'm going to cop a donut. Then there's obviously Matt Crouch. There's speculation that he may return this week. In terms of omissions, the big one, and let us know below as well, specifically with regards to Fish, because I have a feeling that North aren't being overly transparent with him. I was obviously at the game on the weekend, and in the second quarter, it looked as though, I shit you not, pardon the pun, it looked as though Fish had actually shut his dacks, because the way that he was not really able to get up and run, and he was hobbling and clenching his cheeks like he just shut his dacks. So I reckon he's actually pulled something or is sore, and that's part of the reason they've actually subbed him. Because it was shortly after I noticed that, and the bloke that was sitting next to me was a North supporter, and we were both laughing. I'm like, mate, Fish has shat his dacks. It looks totally like he shit his pants. But I think the Fish is going to be out. They probably won't list it as an injury, but I reckon he is sore/injured. So for those people that have Fisher, be prepared to either cover him or just trade him. If you still had him, I would trade him personally. Now, even though like he was back in the team, we've seen that he's a sub candidate, and it wasn't just on the weekend. It was weeks ago. We all know that he was a starting sub as well. So, yeah, get rid of him if you can. Adam, you have predicted Crouch back and Fisher out. I agree there. Scoops. Yes, true. Kruger, yeah, on my forward bench. Jonas, Gorn is in, and with the feather sword in his hand. Captain Feather Sword. Oh, okay, you're going to put the captaincy on him. Jonas still had the Fish poo. He is out injured. I would punt him, mate. Absolutely punt him. Get rid of him. Now, let me just open up the AFL website in the back end. And we will go to the team lineups page. And round 20. Okay, here we go. Sorry, teams are released. And we have, ladies and gents, let's do this. First up, we have Carlton up against Port. We have returning Brody Kemp, McGovern, and Pitnet. No surprise with Pitt, of course, with TDK going out injured. Likewise, Akers and Durden. Kemp, good to see him back in as a baggers man. Likewise, McGovern, we definitely needed him. Um, Jackson Binns, would have liked to have seen him come back in, potentially at the expense of Cunningham. But anyway, I'll chat about that more on my Carlton channel, which of course is Blue Baggers Edge. So make sure to subscribe to that if you're keen to hear my thoughts on that. And Jonas, especially you, mate, because you are a baggers man. For Port, Kane Farrell and Lockie Jones back. Out goes Ollie Lord omitted and Dylan Williams omitted as well. For Freo up against West Coast, we have Draper and Emmett coming in. Out goes Walters and Alex Pearce. For the Eagles, for those people that own Jeremy McGovern, he is back. Waterman, Darling, and Yo likewise as well. Out goes Witherden omitted. Jermaine Jones omitted. Chesser omitted. Liam's man and Petrocelli omitted as well. For the Suns up against the Lions, Tom Berry makes a return. Jared Witts after he fractured his vertebrae due to Darcy Moore's errant knee. Malcolm Rosas as well. Out goes Sexton. Scoops, mate, get rid of him. Jed Walter omitted as well, and Buderick omitted. For the Lions, Logan Morris, Jackson Pryor, and Connor McKenna in. Out goes Darrow Joyce, Harris Andrews injured, and not Brucey, Juicy Brucey. Well. For Melbourne, Maxi Gawn is back in. Yes! Get him in, lads. He is back. Bailey Laurie and Tajba Woden. Tholstrup out injured. Sparrow omitted. And Christian Salem out omitted. Sam Taylor is back from that horrendous injury, that testicular injury that he had. Isaac coming out for the season. Home away season anyway, at the very least. North is the Fish out injured. Eddie Ford, see? He didn't just shit his dacks. But Colby McKercher out injured. Shit! That is not good. Will Phillips comes back in. Zane Dersma and Jaden Stevenson. For the Cats, we have Buse, Brun, and Neil coming in. Parfit omitted, Never omitted, and Zach Tui managed. That is annoying with McKercher because that is going to scuttle me. St Kilda up against Essendon. Caminiti in. Out goes Liam Henry. For the Dons, Peter Wright returns. Darcy Parish makes a return, and Dyson Heppel as well. Out goes Jake Kelly injured. Matt Guelphy and Todd Goldstein in and out like a bloody... who knows what. Adelaide up against the Hawks. Chase Jones, of course, these are Sunday games, extended benches. Jones, Borlacey, Taylor Walker, Curtin, Worrell, and McHenry. Out goes Jordan Dawson through concussion, Butts, and Nick Murray. Two key defensive tools down for the Crows. So we can see there Matt Crouch hasn't returned. Interesting. Cam McKenzie comes back in, potentially Morrison and Gunston. Collingwood up against Richmond, we have Lockie Schultz, Mason Cox, Frampton, Bytel, Harvey Harrison, and Will Parker. Out goes Joe Richards, omitted for those people that have him. Nathan Kruger, obviously, with that concussion, and Reef McGuinness. Richmond, Nick Vloston in. Taranto, Big In, Bauer, and Coulthard. And out goes Toby Nankervis, injured as well. A couple of ruckmen out. And for the last game of the round, Sydney up against the Dogs. And we have Callum Mills coming back in after being managed. Sam Wicks, Caleb Mitchell, Aaron Francis, Peter Adams. And for the outs, Dane Rampy injured and Papley injured, with his ankle being out for for the remainder of the home and away season. For the Dogs, Oscar Baker, Caleb Daniel, can he please get a game? Riley Garcia and Liam Jones. Out goes Riley Sanders, managed. Well, there we go, ladies and gents. Very, very interesting. Let us know your thoughts below in the comments section, but we'll go through that. Philippou is not back, unfortunately, Adam. He is out for another 2 weeks, I think, at least. Jonas, Joe Richards dropped his good, gives me a late captaincy loop. Gawn VC instead. You're so bullish on Gawn. I don't mind it. I don't mind that, mate. I'll 100% take it, but against Briggsy, the big bloody oaf that he is, and the fact that Gawn's going to be underdone, I reckon they're going to try and manage him in game. So I personally wouldn't be doing that, but hopefully he does for the both of us, Jonas. He scores well. No, Kine and Brown, 24 tackles don't count for nothing. Yeah, absolutely killed it in the VFL. And what are they doing? What are they doing? Um, Seriously, how many times did I say McClocher was the biggest injury risk going around? Glad I punched him weeks ago. Yeah, 100%. But I think it was more managed than anything. I was at the game, didn't see him really come off being attended at all. I think he was touch and go to actually play, as we know, last week, and I probably would have preferred him to not play because I would have had cover anyway in the form of not Dawson. Um, what's his name? Dowling. But now I'm going to have to play Dowling anyway. So at least I've got cover. That's the main thing. So, yeah. This is my team anyway, how it looks. Dowling will come on. I don't know what if it just does it for me, but it's not showing the emergencies for Sunday teams now. It doesn't show any tick, any like exclamation point or anything, and it bloody scares the shit out of me. So yeah, I don't know what they're doing there, but let's have a look at the or is he Dowling's on the wing anyway? Thank Christ. But yeah, I don't know if it's an error with the SuperCoach website, but yeah, it doesn't show as to whether or not a player's playing if they've got a Sunday game. Strange. Or maybe it just hasn't updated yet. But anyway, I am thankful that I've got Dowling. Not ideal that I have to play a rookie, but of all rookies that I probably want to play and be most happy with, it would be Dowling. Thank the Lord that Gawn's back. As you can see, my bench is looking pretty dire when it comes to coverage. Wow. Yeah, obviously got one trade left. I don't really want to use it. Rankin's there on the bench for another couple of weeks, which is a shit of a thing. Yeah. It means there's no looping this time around, which is fine. It is what it is. I'm just glad and thankful that I've got a full team. Yeah. Anyway. But let us go through whilst we're here. Captaincy and VC. And oh wait, sorry. Before we do this, let me just we have a nice little sneaky comment from Slim, which will not go unnoticed. He's posted in our Discord here in the private Cash League channel. So you're going to get prime time here, Slimmy. Let me just pull it up on screen. Share screen, window. It is here. And here we go. So, Slimmy, you've said, "Good evening, Lieutenant Dan. I hope this finds you well. The time has come for you to challenge Alf Furrow. Now, I realise that reading is not your strong suit, but let's see how we go. Let's read together. You, Dan. Dan beat Damo. Slim, get top spot. Dan, happy. Slim, happy." What is this, Slim? What are you referencing? Or are you referencing this scene here from Rush Hour? Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? You are a funny man, Slim. Very, very funny man. Gerard, thanks for joining us, mate. Best person to trade fish to under 500k. Well, let's have a quick squiz, mate. We'll try and find someone together for you. Share the screen. Alrighty. So I was saying before, it's slim pickings in the forward line. If you had a little bit more cash, yeah, 100% you go for Dylan Moore. Under 500k, there's Harry Mackay, who I wouldn't really trust. Bargain, I reckon now at his current price point, Charlie Curnow. How's he actually performed against Port in recent games? 81, 101, and 104, so not too bad. And Adelaide Oval, Marvel, and MCG. Because he does have the Pies, who he does score well against. Hawthorn, which might be a tough matchup. West Coast, who he should score well against, and has in the past. And St Kilda, which might be an okay game potentially. But I don't mind Charlie at that price point, but I know he can be a little bit frustrating. There is Charlie Cameron as well. I wouldn't trust him anymore than what I would with Charlie. There is Ben Keys, who I spoke about. Um, he has posted nice scores over the past 4 games. Let me just go to DFS Australia and we'll check out CBAs. And so Keys had his first CBA, his first taste in the last quarter on the weekend against the Dons. So I don't know if he gets those CBAs again. Like with they gave CBAs to Zach Taylor, interestingly enough. But with Dawson out of the team, it now means there's 47% CBAs from last week that need to be divvied out. So maybe that's given to Laird. Maybe Saligo's bumped up again. I don't think Berry will. Don't think they'll bump up Zach Taylor anymore. So I reckon we might see Keys get a few more rotations through the middle. So as a bit of a flyer pick, you could go for Keys. But as you can see outside of these previous 4 games, as a pure small forward, he's been pretty shit. And I wouldn't trust him at all. Sorry, let me share this tab, as you can see. He's been pretty shit. So, yes, I would not have confidence in Keys at all. There is Shea Bolton, of course. He's just as much a yo-yo. Doesn't really have a high floor and no high ceiling. So I wouldn't like Bolton either, but he's an option at a pinch. That's about it, man. That is about it. There's really no players to have confidence in. I mean, you could go back to the well with Harley Reid. But again, hasn't really shown a big ceiling. His floor's becoming okay, but even then, no. There's Charlie Comben. You could potentially had a couple of nice scores across the journey, but matchup dependent, I'd say. Elijah Hollins is another option. He's actually been scoring all right apart from the weekend. 92, 115, 84, 93, 61, 95, 68. So you could go for Elijah Hollins, has DPP. You could go for Ginny Goat. That's about it. Or maybe even Toby Bedford as another one, like playing this tagger role. Sorry, where's he gone now? Playing this tagger role, he's actually scoring quite well just because he's tackling like an absolute madman. Since he's been tagging, you can kind of see it starts from round 14, 88, 86, 56, 71, 97, 92. So again, doesn't have a massive ceiling, but he has elevated his floor off the back of these massive tackling games. Not a high possession getter, obviously. But yeah, that's virtually it. Below that price point, unfortunately. Alrighty, let's head back to the chat. Jonas, Fisher and Richards on my forward bench. Mana on field. Mana's another one as well. You could potentially, but I wouldn't do it if it's your last trade. It's a bit of a waste. You might as well aim a bit higher than that. Jonas, Brad the Milkman said on his stream he was open for a dinner for 3. Open for a dinner for 3 with me. When did he say that, Jonas? Did he have a stream last night? I must have missed it. He's got to have me on. I said to him, actually, this coming Sunday, I might be available, potentially. Not for a dinner for 3, but there we go. Let us know, Jonas, if it was the... I'll track it down. And if you can find the timestamp for us from the video, from the stream, let me know and I'll jump into it. But I've never had a dinner for 3. So dinner for 2 is a different story. But dinner for 3... it's I don't know if anyway, we won't go there. I'm a married man, of course. Nicole, good to see you, Nicole, of course, from the Discord. Incredible to see you. You've asked 2 trades left. Do I hold them and play Dowling and Mana off the bench for F6? Or do I use my last 2 trades to get either Moore or Caldwell? Oh, we're still 5 weeks, well, 4 weeks after this week, out from the end of the season. Let us know, Nicole. Are you going for leagues? If you are playing for league wins, I would hold those trades for a little bit longer. If you need to win this week, if it's a must-win game in order for you to make finals, I would then say yes, probably use the 2 trades. With those 2 guys you got on field, sorry, those 2 guys that you can use on field is F6. Can you potentially loophole one of their scores on field? So looking at, where are we? The fixture. Let's just go back here. Geelong play first up. Adelaide play the last game. Okay, so you probably put Mana on the bench if you can, Loop, with the emergency. If he scores well, loop his score on field using a non-playing player. Otherwise, I'd have confidence in Dowling being able to score semi-okay, around about 70 odd, which is kind of what he's been doing in recent weeks. So don't mind that. But let us know, Nicole, as to what your objective is if you're going for leagues. Do you have a loophole in the forward line that you can loop either Dowling or Mana's score off the bench? And what was the third one? I think that's it. Yeah. But otherwise, yeah, if you're going to use trades, I'd go for Caldwell with that DPP. Very, very helpful. Moore, whilst I like him, I do rate Caldwell higher than Moore because Caldwell's more consistent, I'd say. Jonas, he was talking about the upcoming stream with you and Liam is about, okay. But was he saying this at the back end of his most recent stream? I'll have to find it because I want to listen to it because I'll give him some stick about it. You're a good man, Jonas. Thank you for letting me know that. That's quite funny. Sorry, apologies. Let me blow my nose because it is annoying me. Just one moment. Apologies, ladies and gents. A bit of cat hair up my nose. But yes, Nicole, playing for league matchups. If I do trade, which do I trade out? Okay, of Kruger, Dowling, or the third question I had, Nicole, was: is it a must-win this week in order for you to make finals? Because that'll kind of dictate us whether or not you hold your trades, or if you use them. Who do you trade at a Kruger, Dowling? Or I would trade Kruger, and it kind of depends upon. It depends upon if, because Kruger's going to be the lowest price point out of all those. Yes, he will be. If trading Kruger doesn't allow you to get like someone like a Moore or a Caldwell, I would look to trade out Mana potentially. Dowling, I think, is someone that you probably should keep all year, personally. Mana, you could probably say the same thing for as well. But yeah, I would probably trade at a pinch Kruger, Mana, Dowling. But probably Mana and Dowling are probably neck and neck, personally. Yeah. But let us know your team as well, Nicole. If you have a photo of your team, actually, sorry, I can access your team in the league, can't I? I can indeed, because you are in. Was it Cash League 1 or 2? I think you're in 2. There we go. This is your team, I think, Nicole, isn't it? Swannies. So looking at your team, I would say. Okay, so you can loophole. That's good. So in that case, keep Mana. And you can probably do the trade in round more than anything as well, because the pies don't play until late either. So if you wanted to trade Kruger, it's probably different layers as well, because if you're trading Kruger, you would need to swing Livingston back. So first port of call is Mana. Put the emergency on him on the bench. If Mana scores well, keep Livingston. Don't make any trades, obviously. If Mana scores shit, you can either choose to put Dowling on field, and then you can swing Livingston back into R3, and then trade Kruger down to someone, or trade him up to someone. So there's that as well. But I'll probably do that first. Just wait to see how Mana scores and then assess from there. Let us know as well if... so I think you're saying as well that you'd have to use both trades. Is that right? So if you were, I would definitely use Kruger as one of those. Oh, you've got Humphreys as well. Humphreys is good, good coverage at least. Yeah, you'd probably have to trade Dowling, I reckon. So I trade Kruger down to a rookie, and then upgrade Dowling. And how much cash in the bank have you got, Nicole, as well? Because that kind of will tell the tale as well. But half decent team, Nicole. You've done very well in terms of upgrades and stuff. Very similar to me, except you've got Stewart, Goulden. I've punted Steele. You've got Cherry. Oh, you punted Gorn. Interesting. But yeah, you're in a good spot, Nicole. In a good spot. I only have 145k now. Okay. 145. Uh, 145 plus if you go Kruger down to like a 102, that'll give you 137. 137 plus the 145 is 270, 280, about 280 odd, 282. On top of the head of Dowling, that'll give you a 584 player. So you can pretty much go for anyone. Okay, so yeah, in that case, you could go for a more, or you could go for... Would you be able to afford a Caldwell? Yeah, you would. Yeah, I'd go for Caldwell. So I'd be doing that if you could, Nicole, only after seeing how Mana scores. So if Mana scores well as your emergency on the bench, make no moves, leave Livingston on field. If Mana scores shit and you need him, and sorry, you need to win this game to make finals, etc., use the trade to go Kruger down to a non-playing player, and then upgrade Dowling to a Caldwell, and then you'll be set. And at least that activates as well another avenue for forward mids. Sorry, forward mid. But yeah, have I missed DK Fura? Can you please say Fura again? Sorry, did I mess that up? Okay, Fura. Ein Fura. Anyway, I'm not going to do. I'm just going to do that. Have I missed any others? Oh, sorry, Scoops. Now bloody Sexton Fisher in defence with no cover out. Lovely. Oh, Scoops. You might have to use some trades, mate. You might have to use some trades. Alrighty, so... in terms of, I guess, VC and Cs, we probably should go through now. So you would have heard, if you listened to or watched the episode for this week, you would have seen me go through the best of the best. So I'll pull up that run sheet because I do have them all listed. And we'll go through. But as you can see there, I have settled on, at this stage anyway, Sarong as my VC and Bont as my C, which I'm relatively happy with. I think I want to reward Sarong off the back of the nice game that he played the previous week, which really annoys me because I could have put the VC on Butters and then I could have put the captaincy on Sarong. But I was totally expecting Melbourne to tag him with Neil Bullen, and it just didn't happen. So he was off the chain, him and Brayshaw, and absolutely smashed it. So credit to them. Where are we, docs? So I'm just pulling up the run sheet that I've written out here with all the captaincy options. So I would say of those players that I don't have as a top captaincy option, it would have to be Cherry. So for anyone with Cherry, like yourself, Nicole, I would be very tempted to put the captaincy on him. Sorry, the VC on him. He's playing early on, and he's playing the Cats, who is obviously their main ruckman is SDK, who Geelong are actually giving the third most points to opposition rucks to or against in the past 5 games. The past 5 scores have been English, scored to 129 on the weekend, 131. Again, this is against SDK. 131 to Darcy Cameron, 114 to Meek, 88 to Goldstein, who was playing alongside Draper, sharing the ruckload. And then TDK, his brother, scored a 176 against him. So Cherry, I expect to go absolutely bananas. 3-round average of 113 and a 5-round average of 118.2. So I'm expecting him to go absolutely bananas. So if you got him, he would be my top VC. Sarong, I've got him, obviously. Speaking to him, playing West Coast speaks for itself. And they don't really have any taggers as well. So unless they could try and use Yo to run with him or something, maybe. But yeah, I think with, as you can see there, 117, 97 and a 146 in his previous 3 against them. There is Dunkley up against Gold Coast. So Dunkley had a bit of a downer on the weekend. But the Swans are the most restrictive against opposition mids. And Dunkley, his past 3 scores against the Suns have been 163, 133, and a 153. So I do like him as an option as well. Neil against Gold Coast as well. The better upside for Dunkley is as well is if somehow Gold Coast try and tag Neil, there's more slice of the pie for Dunkley. Who else we got? A bit of a left field one. Sheasel, I don't mind. He's been in some ripping form. 138 in the weekend. Plays the Cats. Scored 159 against them back in round 5 this season. And of course, as I said, the Cats giving away top 3 points to opposition mids. And Sheasel is playing more mid-time as well, so it does fit the bill for him. LDU against the Cats as well, under the same sort of thought, but probably not as much, not as bullish. Cripper against Port. Hasn't scored the best against Port in recent times, but he's got a 3-round average of 124.3 and a 5-round average of 123.2. Good for recent form. Flanders against Brisbane probably speaks for itself. He has gone a ton in every single game for this season. Previous game against the Lions, which is back in round 8 this year, 128. And then there's Bont, who has scored 135 against Port, which is back in round 11. 131 prior to that, and a 108. And he's avoided the tag for most of the season. Probably the game against Carlton was one of the rare times that he actually got tagged. And reason for that being was it was Chin Cotter, who's naturally a defender anyway, who is quite tall and has a bit of bulk to him. So physically, he fit the profile to match Bont somewhat in some areas. But I do expect Sydney as well, who he's facing, to utilise the same tag as what they used last time, which went to, I think it was either Ed Richards or Dale it started off with, and then they went to Treloar and used James Jordan to tag him out of the game. So I'm expecting them not to tag Bont, and Bont to, potentially have a bit of a nice game. But he has a bit of a safe floor, as we know with Bont. So when it comes to captaincy, I'm happy to sort of hedge bets and go with him as well. But there's obviously Dacos as well against Richmond. But, actually, let's just look at Richmond's team, because is Jack Graham back? No, he's not. I was going to say if Graham's back, they'll try and tag. But the Pies are completely out of form. So I don't have any confidence in him. Yes. Sorry, I've skipped over a few questions and comments here. Apologies. Jonas, did you hear SEN had a segment on the other day about all the crazy events and stories from the early Olympics? No, I didn't, mate. I didn't. Let us know. Were there any classic gags that came up? Scoops, Fisher is defender, thinking booting him, not Sexton. Well, considering Fisher's not playing, yeah, it's probably worthwhile keeping the bloke that's playing as a bit of depth. And I imagine Fisher's probably a little bit more expensive, so it'll allow you to go for someone a bit better in a trade. DK, haven't heard any issues with Sammy Walsh. No, the club have come out and they've cleared him. They said that he got a similar to what Rosie copped in his game. It was kind of like a bit of a hip pointer, although because my reserve seat at the game at Marvel Games is right near Carlton's bench, and I could count the number of times that Walsh came off, and he was like holding his lower back, very similar to the spot where I've had some back issues, and it's a shit of a thing. It's a muscular. I don't know what the band of muscle is, but it's stiff. But apparently he copped a bit of a hit there, which isn't your hip pointer really. I guess it is. It's kind of your edgy hip, but yes, they've come out and cleared him and said that he was on a modified sort of program. This not modified program. It's they've scaled him back in his program a little. Well, I guess it's modified, but he's going to be fit enough to play, which is the main thing. Jonas, the AFL website is useless. They should list the teams in order of when the games are fixtured. They're all over the place. Oh, have they not? Jesus. No surprise, really. The AFL are absolute shambles, really. DK, for my captain, I'm a bit torn between Sarong, like you, and also Brayshaw, who was my Rail replacement a few weeks ago. He's been great. Well, that's a good get, mate. I didn't have any faith in Brayshaw, but he's kind of the second fiddle candidate, like, Dunkley, like Cripper, even though he's not second fiddle, but second fiddle to tag targets, I guess, and means that he has more chance of scoring okay. Like the rest of his sort of season has been very much up and down, but he's turned his season around. Much credit to him and to you for getting him, DK. Well done, mate. G'day, Jack. Good to have you tuning in, mate, from Norway, I think, from memory. Incredible, mate. You are an absolute gun. I think you're, like, if we call Adam our number one ticket holder locally, I reckon you're our number one ticket holder from abroad. You're our number one ticket holder outside of the country. So good to have you tuning in, mate. You've said a little early today, have to jump for a bit when I arrive at the bank. But if you're on for a bit, I'll try to be back ASAP. You're a good man, Jack. Hopefully your team's going well, mate. Let us know how things are tracking. Nicole, no worries at all. Always happy to help, Nicole. You hit me up as well on Discord. That's part of the reason why we've built the Discord is you can pester the shit out of us for as much as you want. So, hopefully everything works out well for you. And let us know as well on the Discord during the round how you're going and what moves you end up making. Sorry, my audio's gone cooked here. There we go, it's alright. It just came through, it was looping for a second then, it did my head in. Jack, you've said, like Sheasel as VC Pod, shout, but I'm liking VC Neil. I forgot Neil, yep. Into Dacos. Don't mind Sarong also. Yeah, I reckon Dacos is going to be still quite unique. Let's see. It probably wouldn't have updated because I imagine a lot of teams wouldn't have touched their VCNCs yet. So it won't be fully reflective of what teams will be doing. Sorry, let me go. We'll go all coaches first up. So the most popular VC, Bont, Dacos, or maybe it is. Yeah. Bont, 20.8%, Dacos, 8.9%, Butters, 7%, and the most popular, that's the most popular captain. VC for the round is, there you go, Dacos 11.8% and Zach Merritt 11.2%. But was that from last round? Because when are Essendon playing? They're not playing the early game. Playing fourth. Yeah, maybe. Let's go top 1% now as well. Most popular VC. Yeah, this would have been from last round, I imagine. Yeah, Zach Butters. Yep. So it's probably not a true reflection. But let us know who you're going in the chat. Be keen to hear. Jack, have Rel on the bench and currently McKercher at M8 playing this week, who you would use as your loop player because they both play early. Okay, so Rel on the bench, McKercher at M8. Well, McKercher's not playing, Jack. Hope you know that. He's been managed, I think it looks like. So you might have to be forced to play Rail, unfortunately. If that's what you mean. Hopefully not relying upon McKercher. Scoops, would you bring in Jack Carroll or will he be sub or Carroll? No, I wouldn't go for Carroll, mate. He will... Like, he's done well to make his way back into the side, but you've seen how well Jackson Binns has been playing. If you didn't hear, he had 40-odd possessions and a shitload of tackles and marks and everything. Binsey may come in and usurp him. But yes, as you've said there, he might even be the sub. I reckon if I'm a betting man, it'd be Cunningham. Just because Jack actually wasn't the starting sub and played quite well to his credit. So I'm glad that he's kept his spot. But yeah, I don't think he's much of a reliable scorer, Scoops, to bring into your team. Jack, also have Nank Donut with Strawn R3, so I have 21. So I really need to nail my VC and C options because I'm playing for Cash League. 17 2 currently and have top spot. Well done, mate. Well, you don't need to if you're playing for cash leagues. You don't really. You can just gobble up the donut, really. So yeah, as you've said there, incredible stuff, mate. And hopefully Nank comes back fit and firing for you next week. Do you have any trades left as well, Jack? Be keen to hear. G'day, Carl, the resident comedian. How are you, mates? Happy Shea Bolton and Liam Baker Day to those with teams dreadful enough like mine to have to call up the people's champs off the bench for a saucy little 55 apiece. I love your work, Carl. I was I remember early in the season when Shea was looking like he was going to be sub 400. And I think he did go sub 400 at one stage. And I was like, yeah, he's going to be like a good player off the bench. Like loopy scores on for those ceiling scores. And I don't think he's had a ceiling score ever since then. I'm glad I didn't get roped in. And Liam Baker's roped me in like 2 seasons ago with like Liam and us with our last trades and killed us. So he's on the never again list, 100%. Colby Cheese off the shopping list permanently, contemplating a fish ban to boot. Yeah, I'm a big fan of Colby Cheese. More of a brie man, I reckon. Tasty cheese, yes, that's an obvious one. Camembert I do like as well. Very similar to brie. I don't know what the differences are between brie and camembert, but to me they're both the same cheese. Taste very similar. They look similar. One's creamier than the other one, I think. I don't know. Maybe it's the brie. Anyway, I digress. Jonas, maybe I should ask, I don't really like cheese, if he's in the chat to let us know what his thoughts are on cheese. Jack, I'm going Gorn VC into Dacos C, but won't be needed. Jeez, you're so confident with Gorny. What? Jonas, who are you... Sorry, where does this confidence stem from for Gorny? Am I missing something? Did he tell them up last time? Oh yeah, he's actually scored quite well. 163, but back in 2021. 2022, 130. And then the second game in 2023, 111. But I will say, I'm pretty sure the Giants have tightened things up in terms of how they've... sorry, where is it? Defense fee position. Leaking points to opposition rucks. Let's have a squeeze. Giants, yeah, they have. They're still positive, but they're in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They're like 7th. They're like the 7th best team to play against if you're a ruckman. So yeah, let us know, Jonas. Where's this confidence? Is it intuition? Is it a gut feel? Let us know. Carl Fish Poo is no good. Yeah, he's back in the water, mate. Kiss him, throw him back in, Rex Hunt style. Jack, I was not aware he wasn't playing. Okay, easy decision then. Haven't looked at the team sheets. Yeah, give it a squeeze, mate. Aside from that fish, as we've been speaking about, he is out. No real surprise. McKercher, Nank, you know about. Dawson's out, concussion. I don't think there were any other surprises, were there? Scoops, it's Carroll for mid-second bench spot. Are you talking about like a downgrade option? Scoops. In that case, if you were downgrading to someone, I would say yes, you could probably go for Carroll. Who else is there? Sorry, let me just check this. Check yourself before you wreck yourself. Sort by lowest prices. Always the beginning, as they say at Bunnings. Yeah, he's probably the cheapest, isn't he, that's playing. So, yeah, you could probably go for Carroll. He might provide you a bit of cover if you need it. Zane True's another one, but he's, 40k more expensive? Yeah, slim pickings apart from that, mate. Yeah, I'd go for Carroll. Otherwise, look to, if you don't need cover, like you've already got a Dowling or someone, I just go for a non-playing player, loophole player, and save you an extra 30k or something that you can put on top of the head of the player you're trading out to get in a better primo. Like a Kynan Brown you could bring in, potentially. Scoops, do I take the conservative approach and get Houston for Fisher, then still kind of use my money to upgrade Dowling mana for 500k or so to afford for my last trade over the next few weeks? Yeah, that might be the way, mate. Like if you don't have, I don't think you said you've got an F6 primo either, considering you had 6 and an F5. I would probably go down that route, mate. Farrell isn't back, I don't think, for Port, is he? No, he is, sorry. So it does mean that the kick-ins for Houston are going to be impacted, which is annoying. Who else could you go for? Around that price point for Houston, I would honestly not look at Houston. What is he, 507? If you've got a little bit more cash, I'd go for Holmes over Houston, personally. There's a few options in defence, actually. There is Tom Stewart. Hinge isn't bad, but he's more expensive. So probably not. Rivers isn't bad either. Doesn't have a massive ceiling, but elevated his floor because he's playing in the midfield now. And that's probably it. So, yeah. Let us know how much cash you've got to work with, Scoops. But I do like that he's forward thinking. Very, very nice. Jonas scores well and the season is on the line. Okay, gotcha. The storyline side of things. He's gone massive after losses a number of times. I'm going to the game too. Oh, well, make sure that you give him a rocket. Give the D's a rocket. Because obviously, yeah, as I said, must win. Scoops, yeah, downgrade for him for the mid-second bench spot. Okay, for Carroll. No other options worth it. True is too much. Yes, could do a loophole too. Jack, how the hell is McGovern back after having rib and lung problems but a jet? I don't think, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think he actually punctured his lung. Oh, no, he did. He did, sorry, he did. Apologies, he did. Yes, that was part of the reason. So, what's he been out for? 3 weeks now? So, I was going to say, it would have boded well for TDK had he not bloody fractured his foot as well as the punctured lung. But, yeah, it helps those people that have McGovern still, like Abs Magic. Jonas, Fish Poo ain't losing any money with his massive break-even this week. Waiting to trade him next week for a SuperCoach finals. There you go. Smart man, Jonas, planning ahead. Jack, my boy, Big Joe Danaher, has been named down back. What? Has he? Oh, he has. Oh, because the thing is with the Lions, they've lost some key position stock in defence. So let's have a look. Danaher in defence. I think they're going to play Hipwood in defence, considering Hipwood has gone back into defence previously when they've been down on tall defenders. So I'd expect to see Danaher full forward, Hipwood down in defence. Who else do they have? Jackson Pryor? That's about it. Yeah, interesting times. Interesting times. Now, whilst we're here, this is for you specifically, Jonas. This is for you. We're going to go to this right here. This right here, ladies and gents, is Blue Bagger's Edge. It is my alternate channel. Apologies if you don't care. But it is for baggers and for general AFL fans alike, because I'm going to try and keep it more generic. As you can see there, that was my catch-up with Janath from Third Man Up. Obviously, you'd know him in the SuperCoach community, an absolute legend, and a blue bagger as well. So even more so a legend, an absolute elite operator. And yeah, he jumped on and had a nice little chin wag with me, which was good fun. So yeah, we had to speak about that game, which was a bit of a review of the North Melbourne game, going through all the tactics, foreshadowing ahead for the Port game. He's a very analytical bloke, is Jonathan, much like myself. So we are on very much the same wavelength, and yeah, it was great fun to have him. And he will be a regular fixture as well. As you can see, same get up, because I will be recording my preview episode for the Port Adelaide game after this stream as well. So I might actually, should I do a live stream? Maybe. I might try it. We'll see how we go. So you can jump on there and ask questions as well if you're keen. But yeah, feel free to go and check that out. It is Blue Bagger's Edge, of course. You can just go to YouTube, type in Blue Bagger's Edge, or alternatively, you can click the link that I'm whacking down in the comment section below, and it will take you to my channel, and give us a sub, give us a like, all that sort of stuff. Really appreciate the support, because it is in its infancy. We've only been doing it now for 3 weeks now. 3 weeks? Yep, 3 weeks. So yeah, it's building ever so slowly, and yeah, I'm obviously a massive nuffy for Carlton, so I figure it's a good time to do it, and yeah, appeal to the Baggers fans as we head into finals. And I can vent more than anything as well. Jonas, there you go. You're on to go, mate. Subbed already, 38 subs so far. Yeah, going great guns. Happy with it. I'm also just keen to have people tune in, give me their thoughts, comments, and let me know as well, Jonas. Thoughts, comments, all that sort of stuff with regards to the North Melbourne game. Jonathan and I went through our thoughts of where we thought things went wrong. A big discrepancy in the game was, I won't go into full detail because this is SuperCoach, but again, defensive side of our game, especially in the midfield, we were exposed for, which wasn't good. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how we perform without TDK. Good to see that we've still got Pitnet, who is quite reliable in his own right. So good to see. But yeah, feel free to go and check that out. Give us a sub, everything else, and appreciate the support. Aside from that, ladies and gents, let us go back to the, where are we? Leagues. And did I show you the Cash League 2 for those people that are of interest to that? I'm in 8th place there. Need to win. It's a must win for me to qualify for finals, because I have the likes of Bada Bing breathing down my neck, as well as Job's Giraffes. So yeah, that's the state of play there. And SuperCoach Edge Open League as well. I'm 126 overall. Chev's Titans is in 2nd spot overall. He's slid back, unfortunately, but he is leading the way for the SuperCoach Edge Legends Cup. Any other notable names we've got here? We do have you, Jonas, in 17th spot. Well done. Good, sir. Skit Fitz in 22nd. The Phantom, 511. L. Payton, 583. Slim, 29th. And he is 625th overall. So quite a few legends there amongst the pack. Jonas, missed McGovern badly. Glad he's back this week. Yeah, I'm so glad as well. I think that was probably the one thing we were exposed for. Sam Durden, he was touch and go to play the game anyway, but I don't know if you noticed, if you went to the game, or, obviously watched it, but he was so sore. He should have been subbed out, I reckon, in the second quarter. He could not move. He could hardly run. So credit to him for actually playing out the game when we were virtually down a man or two with TDK and everything else. But there were a few guys that wore their heart in their sleeve and were able to get through the game, which was really incredible to see. She's the cheese. How are you, mate? Good to have you tuning in. What about Fisher to D'Ambrosio or Bolton? D'Ambrosio, is he a forward? Did he get forward status? Or am I tripping? No, he got. Oh, sorry. Yes, he Fisher's in your defence. Um, yeah, actually, he's not a bad shout, mate. He's not a bad shout at all. I like that. That's a very, very good shout, mate, by you. 100%. I'd go for D'Ambrosio over Bolton. Yep, lock that in. Jonas, do you think West Coast pick 3 to Adelaide for Dan Curtin might happen? He has lost value. Um, I don't know if he's lost value because he hasn't played, but because he's coming off a knee injury, and they were always going to manage him in season. But I think they're kind of just taking the slow and steady approach. If West Coast offer pick 3, I reckon Adelaide would jump at that, considering where they got Curtin originally. Was it like around about pick 10 or something? Um, so, yeah, that'll be interesting to see if that happens. West Coast, what are the draft picks look at the moment? Sorry, we're veering into more generic um, AFL chat at the moment, but uh, picks, I think Zero Hanger usually have the order. Here we go, provisional order. So West Coast got pick 3. So if they trade that, their next pick is not until, well, it wouldn't be until, what is it, reverse order from there? 21, 22. I only have pick 23 after that. Is that right? Yeah, pick 23. So I don't know. I mean, West Coast, they need to get as much youth in as they can. I reckon if they offer pick 3 to Adelaide, they'll be asking for Curtin plus maybe another pick from Adelaide. Like, wouldn't be pick 5, obviously. It'd have to be pick 29, maybe something else as well on top of that to sort of even it out a bit more. But it's a lot of capital to invest in a key position. I know he's a defender, can play forward as well, and highly touted. But maybe they try and play that card, Jonas, where they're like, he's lost capital, so we're not going to offer you pick 3 or whatever it is. We'll offer you next year's first round, or which is dangerous, or next year's second round plus pick 23. Yeah, but interesting times indeed. Jonas, Carlton had injuries everywhere, injured players coming off and on. Yeah, it was so laughable, but so concerning because it was like Walsh, Sam Durden, TDK coming on and off, Harry, who copped that head hit and another knock. It was just insane, absolutely insane. She's the cheers, and it would be a DPP swing with Dowling going forward. Love it, Shees. You're all across it, mate. Well done. Just for those people tuning in late, you asked the question of, in terms of trading Fisher, if you could swing Fisher down in defence, trade him to D'Ambrosio. Love that. So good. He's gone to the radar, D'Ambrosio, so really do like that. Michael, I reckon they might split it like 2 years ago, Jonas. Yeah. Which is what would have allowed them to get... It would have been Sheasel and... Who was the other player they went for? Was it the same draft as Harley Reid? No, it wasn't. It was... Who was the 2023? Sorry, 2022 it would be, wouldn't it? Yeah, it was 2022. Yeah, they split the pick. It would have been Sheasel they would have got because yeah, they traded that far out. But they ended up getting Jinby and Elijah Hewitt Oh, man. Like, Hewitt, I don't think he's played all year, has he? And Jinby's okay. He might turn out to be a real good player, but it shows the dangers of trading a top pick because they've missed out on Sheasel. Incredible. Global, g'day mates. How are you? Hope you're well. Hope you are going very, very well. Good to have you tuning in, mate. She's the cheese. Any upset tips this week? Ooh, I've actually haven't done my tips yet. Shall we log in? Shall we try and log in? We can do the tips together. Where is it? Log in. Ah, jeez. So I was just trying to log into my tipping account. Am I in? Am I in? No, it hasn't logged me in. Hold up, wait a minute, something ain't right. All right, here we go. So this is what am I on at the moment? Total tips 105. So let's go through. Let us know your thoughts as well as to who you're tipping. 93%. I'm probably going to be a pessimistic Carlton supporter for as long as I live until we win a flag, really. Because I'm worried about Port Adelaide, really. I'm worried. But with McGovern back, it does help us. Their team lineup. Did they have Marshall coming back? Nope. They got Georgiades still. They've gone one less tall. Interesting. Excuse me. I'll go for my mob by 15 points. It's going to be a cracker. Going to be a close one. North Melbourne, but I don't have any confidence in this tip at all. Geelong. So I guess in upsets, they shouldn't be 255 Port Adelaide. I reckon that could potentially be an upset. Geelong should win. Gold Coast, we know that they're a different commodity at home. The Lions, they've been exposed for their lack of defensive tools. So I reckon I'm going to go for Gold Coast as a massive upset here. Because they're due for a bit of a downer. Like, they've won their past 5 games. Every team around them have been dropping games. Carlton, Sydney, Freo even. The Giants have started to regain some form. Geelong have dropped games. So I'm expecting the Lions to drop a game before finals kick off. I can't see them winning every single game until the start of finals. So I'm going to go for Gold Coast as a bit of an upset. So I guess that's my my upset tip for the round. The Dons should beat. They should bounce back against the Saints. Ooh, this is a tough one. Melbourne and the Giants. The D's have to bounce back and win. Oh. Here we go. This is a tough one. This is a coin flip. With Gorn back, do we go for Melbourne? I reckon I'll go for the Giants. Sorry, D's. Freo against the Eagles, yes. Collingwood up against Richmond. Collingwood should beat them. But Richmond have been actually performing quite well in recent times. Sydney up against the Dogs. Yes, Sydney. And then Adelaide up against Hawthorn. I'll probably go for the Hawks, I reckon. But it could go either way. So that's my tips. Carlton up against Port by 15. But no confidence at all. Geelong against North. Gold Coast is an upset, massive upset against the Lions. Essendon against the Saints. The Giants against Melbourne. Freo against the Eagles. Collingwood against Richmond. Sydney against the Dogs. And Hawthorn against the Crows. That's pretty much it. That is it. Um, where are we? So I've missed a few comments here. Yep, West Coast got Jimby and Hewitt. Jack, do you think Dowling is going to score more than Rowell? Because I could put him on and have Rowell. Oh, well, if you can loop, 100%, I'd be doing that. Put Rowell as the emergency, and if Rowell scores shit, which he has been going downwards every single week for the past like 4 or 5 weeks, um, at least it'll give you a bit of insurance because Dowling could actually outscore Rowell. You're right. Who gets the pig roll at North now? Both Fish and Colby are out. Very good call. I think in the past it has been. What's his name? Used to play for Freo. Sorry, let me pull up the teams. What's his name? Starts with T. Where is he? Darcy Tucker. He was playing in defence over, what was it, the past few games? Up until maybe 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago when McKercher returned. Let's have a look, DFS Australia, because we'll look at we'll have a look at Darcy Tucker, but I'm pretty sure he would be the man with their current lineup. Probably Luke McDonald, Sheasel as well is a given. That's about it. I'd probably say out of those two, but I reckon Darcy Tucker goes back into defence as a guessing man. Let's have a squeeze. Yeah, he's been playing sort of a high wing defensive spot at times. Darcy Tucker, when he was scoring well, which is round 11, is it, against Port, his heat map looked like that. So he's pretty much, he's camped inside of the defensive 50 there. Sorry, here you go. This is Darcy Tucker. That was round 11. Round 13, he played defensive sort of up to the wing. Round 14, similar thing. Round 15, which I think was when McKercher returned, he was playing up and back. Bit of a slingshotting role. Was McKercher here? Sorry. Yeah, McKercher was this round. He's playing more the wing. And then he's been playing... Yeah, still the rings wing come defensive. Why are they listed as half forward flank? They've stuffed up here. Yeah, I would say Darcy Tucker, personally. Sorry, Global. I didn't have you. That was the question I was answering. I reckon Darcy Tucker. Jonas, West Coast wanted Curtin bad after he fell to pick 7 and 8 and offered Adelaide this year's pick. Now slated number 3. But Adelaide said no and took Curtin. Yeah, okay. That's interesting because if I was Adelaide, I probably would have taken it and banked potentially West Coast finishing last and getting pick number 1. Like, I know he's highly rated, Curtin, but that's a bit of a silly. I was actually in Tassie on draft night, so I didn't see the whole ins and outs. But I do know that he actually slid. I was actually in Launceston, believe it or not, on draft night when it was on, and I was filming Colin McKercher and Sanders' family and friends there, watching out the club, which is pretty cool. I was there filming some other stuff, other footy stories, but it was good to be there for that. We're actually doing a piece on Launceston Footy Club. Michael Hewitt, Footy Shoes. He's going to be a super kid if he gets a good run. Future captain too. Oh yeah, I heard about that. He was very good leadership. She's the cheese. Global. I think Stevenson had 30 in the VFL. There you go. Jonas Carlton will win. Not worried. This. Ooh, geez, you're a confident man, Jonas. I'm not pessimistic. I like to say I'm realistic, just because as a Carlton man of 36 years, I've seen a lot of shit, and I've been burnt so many times where I don't think I'll be celebrating until we literally physically lift up the Premiership Cup. Like, I can tell you now, like, if we make the grand final, when we do eventually, and eventually win, I'm going to cry and sob like an absolute baby because I mean any team that's gone through shit in recent years, like Melbourne, um, Richmond, they went through a rough patch. Hawthorn, even before they won their consecutive flags, they were pretty much a bottom team. Any team that's gone through heartache, you'll totally understand. Like it just means so much more. Like even wins, like week in week out, it's starting. I think it's starting now for me to become a bit of a common theme where it's like, okay, like I'm expecting kind of the team to win when I go to games now, as opposed to, geez, I hope we win, or even before that, like, geez, I hope we don't get smashed by like 50 plus points, which is what was happening throughout the 2000s when I was going to like Optus Oval back in the day, as it was called then, sitting in the stands. But I'd still know we'd get smashed, but still go and support the team and everything. And, the rare wins that you get, geez, they were like winning a grand final. It was incredible. Kevin, g'day, mate. To you. Thanks for joining us as well. How does the player value for next season work? Does it depend on this season and average or final player value? Um, it does differ. I don't know. It's to do with the magic number as well that they formulate at the start of every season. And they also factor in if a player was out for a percentage of the season due to injury. So they get like an injury discount. But like using as an example, like Bont. So if we look at his end price point for 2023, his end price was 691.3. 2024, his starting price was 724.6. So it went up, was it 693, 724, went up 31k. So even though he ended 30k cheaper, they've put him 30k more expensive. And I don't know why. It's to do with the magic number and everything else, but yeah, it's a bit of a guessing game, Kev, unfortunately. There are people out there that kind of can guesstimate, like Bryce Mitchell. There's a couple of others as well that are good numbers men, but it's over my head. Sorry, Kev. I don't know what the magic number is. Jonas, Brisbane, Gold Coast, the game I'm not sure on this week. Yeah, go with me. Go for Gold Coast. She's the cheese. Yeah, I like the Gold Coast this week, especially with Wits back. Yep, that's a big in. Jonas, Demons, and the Hawks is the other, 50-50 games for me. Totally agree. Michael, beware the Eagles. Beware the Eagles. We are the Eagles. Who are the Eagles playing? I've just skipped over their bloody Freo. Oh, yeah, it gets a, what do they call it? The showdown? No, sorry, Derby. Sorry, apologies. Or Derby, depending on where you are. It's kind of like a Collingwood Carlton game, or a Collingwood Essendon Carlton. Doesn't matter where they are on the ladder, all that sort of cliche stuff. Well done, Jonas. 111. You're 6 ahead of me. Jack, Lions should win, but I'll be surprised if they lost. They're due for one. Yeah, that's my thinking as well. Like Gold Coast play well, very, very well at home. Albeit it is against teams that aren't located in Queensland, whereas obviously Brisbane are. So they'd be used to the weather there and the conditions. But I just think that, yeah, the Lions are due for a loss. And with their number of defensive outs, the key tools, if Ben King gets off the bloody chain and Lukosius, it will be left, right, good night. Global, which players in your team have you had all year? Very good question, mate. Very, very good question. Let's bring it up. And then we might wrap up the stream very soon because my dinner has arrived. We've ordered some fish and chips. And I've got to record my Blue Baggers Edge preview episode. So I am keen as well to do a live. So if anyone that wants to jump across to that channel whilst I'm recording the live, and you can throw some questions at me and you can contribute and everything else. And if you're a baggers man like you are, Jonas, you can throw some ideas off me and yeah.
I'll join the live too.
Oh, get out of here. Absolute pest she is. Where are we? Share. So, where are we? Which players have we had in your team all year? So the players I've had in my team all year. Dacos is definitely one. Sheasel is another. Nick Martin's another. Reed is another one. Bont's another one. Tom Green, another one. Gorn is another one. Flanders, another one. Heaney, another one. Jackson, another one. And that's it. So what's that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, 8 players. 9, sorry, including Reed. So, yeah, let us know. It's a very good question there by you, Global. Let us know how many players you've all had in your team all year. She's the cheese, same tips as me. There you go. Hopefully we're onto a good thing, She's. Global, if it's not Stevenson, could just be a bit of everyone. Maybe Tucker, Scott, Sheasel, McDonald, and Stevenson. Is Stevenson playing back in defence now, She's? Jonas, Melbourne were first offered West Coast 2024 round 1 pick, but they said no one took Windsor, then West Coast offered it to... gotcha. Windsor's going to be a good player, though. That's for sure. Get off it, Michael. Get off it, mate. That's an old gag. Travis, I'm not sure why Lions can't win every game, but as a Blues fan, you're probably hopeful we don't. Yeah. Yeah, definitely hopeful. I mean, we've been pretty fortunate that other teams have had losses in recent times as well, to keep us where we are. Jonas, Party Likes 1999 preliminary final day, yeah, 100%. West Coast don't need brown paper bags to win, but they do need a lot of D-Rogues, yeah. Nicole, I know how you feel with premierships. Oh, of course, a Swans fan. South Melbourne, of course. Being a Swans supporter who's 49, it was amazing we broke the drought in 2005. Unfortunately for me, I was living in the UK at the time. It's a bummer. But at least you would have seen a couple of flags there, Nicole, and a couple of grannies as well to go with it. So the Swans are kind of like Geelong, that they set the benchmark of how to do it, how to rejuvenate your team without bottoming out, and still making finals and contending. So yeah, you definitely understand, Michael. If you can perform like they did with what they were on, good luck to you. I don't know what the reference is there. Travis, my upset is the Eagles. There you go. That's a big one. Nicole, my mum went to the grand final on... Oops, my ticket. Thank God I've seen one at the Grand 2012, which makes up for me missing the 2005 grand final. Yeah, 100%. Good stuff, Nicole. Hopefully we get to see one this year, and hopefully it's not against your mob, because I'd be awfully scared, but awfully sorry for you as well if we... because, I mean, you've seen a few grand finals. Give one to us. Give us a flag. Come on. Cooper... got 60k to your last comment. 60k, what was my last comment? To you, Scoops? Was I asking how much money you got in the bank? Maybe. Jonas, I see you have the rank pig string waiting to come out of the garage in a couple of weeks. I do indeed, mate. I do indeed. It's the week that I brought him in was the week that he got suspended. So, it's been a long waiting game with my one trade. I could have traded him, but I was like, you know what? I might need that trade if I get a long-term injury. So I'm sticking with it. McCurch is he was my 23rd man, and then as it turned out, Rankin went out. So had to play McCurcher on field, and I was going to try and loop between Rankin and Kerno. But McCurcher is now out, and thank the Lord I've got Dowling. But that's it, ladies and gents. I reckon we'll wrap it up there. I've been going for an hour and 35 minutes, so a bit of a marathon. I am hungry. Need to say good day to the wife, who just stuck ahead of me before, was being a pest. And we will, I guess, see you all in the next one. So thank you again for tuning in. Really appreciate it. Of course, if you have any questions and comments, feel free to hit us up in the Discord, of course. Feel free to hit us up there. Join as well if you haven't already. And Carl, you've said top work all year. By the way, absolute power of work. Thank you, Carl. Really appreciate it, and I really enjoy you, along with everyone else, of course. But your comments coming in for the gags and everything, and you've been a great supporter of us, along with a lot of people in here tonight. Jonas, thanks for the stream. No worries at all. Always happy to do so, and feel free to jump across. Join me on my other stream on Blue Baggers Edge. Hit the notification bell as well, so you'll know when I'm going live. Everything else, so you can jump in. Splendidifurious. I don't know how to say Splendifurious stream demo. What a beautiful thing. Good luck, my boys. You're going to need it. Enjoy the fish and chips, my man. Thank you. Get it while it's hot. It's probably a bit lukewarm out at the moment, but yeah, we'll still gobble it down. And best of luck to you as well against Adam. Adam, I don't think he's in the stream anymore, but best of luck to both of you. And may the winner be the most deserving. That's it. No worries. Thank you, Kev. Thanks for joining us as always. And of course, we will see you to do it all again in the next one. So we'll catch you on the flip side. See you later.